Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone's words, their tone, or their actions started to stir something deep inside you? Maybe you felt your heart race, your mind cloud with anger, or the urge to retaliate surge through you. We've all been there. It's easy to react. It's natural to want to defend yourself, to prove a point, to make sure your voice is heard. But what if I told you that there's a quieter, far more powerful way to handle these moments? What if, instead of reacting, you chose to stay silent? At first, it may sound strange. After all, in today's world, we're taught to speak up, to stand our ground, to be bold. But the truth is, silence isn't weakness. It's strength. In the midst of chaos, in the heat of a confrontation, silence can be your greatest ally. And in that silence, you hold the power to outsmart anyone. This video isn't about avoiding conflict or pretending that everything's fine when it's not. It's about something much deeper. It's about understanding that you are in complete control of how you respond, not to the situation itself, but to your own emotions. It's about discovering the quiet strength that lies within you, the strength to remain calm, centered, and composed, no matter what's happening around you. I know it's not always easy. It's hard to resist the urge to react, especially when others seem to be pushing your buttons. But if you're willing to embrace this simple yet powerful idea, you'll realize that silence isn't just a lack of sound. It's a strategic, purposeful choice. A choice that allows you to regain control, to regain peace, and ultimately, to regain yourself. So, take a moment and think about it. How much more powerful would you be if, in every challenging situation, you stayed calm, composed, and silent? What would it feel like to know that in every moment, you have the ability to choose peace over stress, understanding over reaction, strength over weakness? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use silence to outsmart anyone, without stress, without conflict, and most importantly, without losing your peace. Chapter 1. Understanding the Stoic Mindset. Control starts from within. Have you ever felt like the world is spinning out of control around you? Like the demands of life, the opinions of others, and the pressures of every day weigh heavy on your shoulders? It's easy to feel like you're constantly at the mercy of circumstances, reacting, adjusting, scrambling to keep up. But here's the thing. True control doesn't come from managing the world outside of you. It begins with what's inside of you. This is the core of Stoicism, and it's where you start to unlock a power that's always been within you. It's not about trying to control every external situation or force others to see things your way. It's about understanding that you have control over one thing: your mind, your reactions, your emotions, your thoughts. These are within your power, and when you master them, you gain freedom that nothing outside of you can take away. I want you to really think about this for a moment. The next time you feel your blood start to boil when someone cuts you off in traffic, or when a coworker says something that doesn't sit right with you, stop for a second. What if, instead of reacting immediately, you paused and remembered this? I have control over how I respond. That's the Stoic mindset in action. You see, Stoicism teaches us that everything external is beyond our control. You can't control other people's actions. You can't control how things unfold, and you certainly can't control the chaos that might come your way. But what you can control is your own response. And this isn't just some abstract concept. It's a practice that, once you embrace it, transforms how you handle life's challenges. When you start with the mindset that you control your reactions, you reclaim power over the way you feel. Think about how much energy you've spent trying to change things outside of you. How many sleepless nights have you spent worrying about things you have no power over? How much frustration have you felt when trying to change the way others behave or think? It's exhausting, isn't it? The truth is, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into controlling the outside world. It will never give you the peace and clarity that comes from focusing inward. The Stoics understood this. They believed that the only real control we have is over our own thoughts and actions. When you focus on cultivating inner calm, when you train yourself to remain composed no matter what's happening around you, you shift from being a passive recipient of the world's chaos to an active creator of your own peace. But let me be clear. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's about recognizing that emotions, though powerful, don't have to dictate your actions. They're signals, not commands. By pausing and reflecting before reacting, you give yourself the space to choose how to respond with clarity, with purpose, and with a grounded sense of self. Here's something I want you to remember. Control doesn't come from trying to force your will on the world. It comes from accepting the world as it is, and then deciding how you want to show up in it. When you embrace the Stoic mindset, you stop reacting to the noise. You stop letting external circumstances dictate your inner peace, and instead, you begin to act from a place of deep inner strength, one that no situation can take away from you. So, what does this look like in practice? It starts by recognizing that every time you feel stress or frustration, you have a choice. You can let those feelings dictate your behavior, or you can pause, reflect, and decide how you want to respond. It's not about being perfect. It's about being mindful. It's about understanding that you can control the way you show up, no matter what life throws your way. Imagine how much more powerful you would feel if, every time someone tried to push your buttons, you chose to remain calm. Imagine how much more peace you would experience in your life if you stopped reacting to every little thing and instead took a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to choose your response. This is the Stoic way. This is where true control starts, within you. As you begin this journey, remember that the power to control your inner world is already in your hands. You don't need to change the world around you to find peace. You just need to change the way you respond. The moment you realize that, you'll be amazed at how much freedom and strength you've had all along. Chapter 2. The Power of Silence. Your quiet strength. You've probably heard it said that silence speaks louder than words. But have you ever truly understood what that means for you in your life? In a world that's constantly demanding your attention, where noise and chaos are almost always just a tap away, there's a profound power in silence that most people overlook. Yet, this is where you find a quiet strength, a strength that can never be shaken or diminished by external noise. In moments of silence, you tap into something deeper. You connect with your inner self, and in doing so, you start to realize that silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's the presence of your most authentic, powerful self. Think about it for a second. When you're in a heated conversation, when your emotions are swirling, it can feel like your mind is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour, just trying to keep up. But in those very moments, silence offers you a chance to step back, breathe, and reclaim control. It's in these quiet spaces that you find clarity. It's in these still moments that you uncover the strength to make decisions with purpose and intention, rather than reacting out of impulse. Now, I know it's not always easy to embrace silence. The world tells you that you need to fill every second with noise, with conversation, with action. But in reality, silence is the space where your true power lies. It's where you can hear your thoughts clearly, free from distraction. It's where you can understand your emotions without being swept away by them. It's where you can listen to your own heart instead of being drowned out by the world's demands. You may be wondering, how can silence make me stronger? The truth is, it's in those quiet moments that you build resilience. Think about the times in your life when things felt overwhelming. Maybe you were facing a tough decision, or maybe you were dealing with a challenge that seemed insurmountable. But in the silence, you allowed yourself the space to think, to reflect, and to choose the path that felt right for you. You didn't react out of fear or desperation or pressure from others. You allowed silence to guide you. This is the essence of stoicism. It teaches you that you don't need to constantly fill your life with distractions in order to feel fulfilled. True strength comes when you can sit in silence, stand firm in your values, and respond to life's challenges from a place of calm. You don't need to speak in order to be heard. You don't need to react immediately to every situation. In fact, the most powerful people you'll ever meet are the ones who know how to control their words and their reactions. They understand that in silence, they hold the power to choose how to show up in the world. And that power, my friend, is something that no external force can take away. When you embrace the power of silence, you begin to understand that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to shout to be seen or speak to be heard. Your actions, your presence, and your calm demeanor will speak for themselves. This doesn't mean shutting yourself off from the world, but rather knowing when to step back, reflect, and choose the most meaningful way to engage. Imagine the freedom in that. Imagine not feeling the need to fill every space with words, to explain yourself, to react to every little thing. Instead, you allow silence to empower you to think, to observe, and to respond with intention. It's not weakness to remain silent, it's strength. So, how do you begin to harness this power? It starts with small moments of silence throughout your day. When you feel overwhelmed, take a step back. Breathe. Let the silence wash over you. And in that space, let yourself become clear. Don't be afraid of the quiet. It's where your inner strength lives. And when you can sit in silence, without the need for validation or constant chatter, you'll find that you hold the power to navigate any situation with grace, clarity, and strength. This is your journey now. In every moment, you have the choice to embrace silence as your quiet strength. When you do, you'll find that it's not just a tool. It's the key to living a life of purpose, calm, and unshakable confidence. So take a deep breath and let the silence guide you. The power you're looking for has always been inside you. Chapter 3. Silence as a strategic response. Staying calm in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, when tensions rise and emotions flare, what do? Do you rush to defend yourself, retaliate, or react impulsively? It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of emotion. But here's the truth. The most powerful response you can have in these situations is often silence. It's not about saying nothing. It's about choosing to remain calm, composed, and centered. Think about a time when you were pushed to your limits, When someone said something that hit you right where it hurts. The natural reaction is to respond, to fight back, to make sure your side is heard. But in doing so, how often have you felt like you lost control, like the situation slipped away from you? Now, imagine the same moment, but this time, you don't react. You don't immediately respond to the provocation. Instead, you take a deep breath, pause, and allow yourself to stay grounded in your inner calm. That silence, your silence, becomes a strategic move, a powerful choice that disarms the situation. Silence gives you the space to regain control. It's the pause that allows you to respond, not react. In those moments, you find your strength because your decision to stay silent isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of self-mastery. It's the moment you realize that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to engage in the noise. When you're able to remain silent in a heated moment, you are exercising one of the greatest forms of control you can have. Control over your emotions, your responses, and ultimately, the situation. Think about the last time you stayed calm when everyone around you was losing their cool. How did you feel afterward? Powerful? At peace? That's because you were aligned with your true self, not swayed by external forces. In Stoic philosophy, silence is a tool, not a weakness. It's a strategic response to life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds, often spoke about the importance of inner calm and restraint. He understood that to live a life of virtue, you must first master yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Silence allows you to do just that. When you respond with silence, you take the power out of the hands of the person trying to provoke you. They're expecting a reaction, a response fueled by emotion, defensiveness, or anger. But when you remain silent, you rob them of that satisfaction. In a way, your silence becomes your shield. And it's not just about deflecting negative energy. Silence in response also gives you clarity. When you don't rush to react, you allow yourself the chance to truly assess the situation. You gain perspective, and that perspective helps you choose the most effective course of action, one that's aligned with your values. You don't need to prove that you're right, that you're strong, or that you have all the answers. The mere act of holding your ground, remaining silent, and choosing to respond thoughtfully is enough. The world will often test you, pushing you to react emotionally. But each time you choose silence, you become stronger. You realize that the external chaos no longer holds power over you. The next time you feel yourself being drawn into a heated situation, pause. Take a breath. Allow yourself the space to let the emotions pass, and then respond with calm, clarity, and purpose. When you do, you will not only find peace in that moment, but you'll also gain the respect of others, because they will see the strength in your silence. Remember, silence doesn't mean inaction. It means choosing the right moment to act, choosing to rise above the noise, and choosing to remain grounded in your inner strength. This is how you stay calm in the heat of the moment. This is how you become the person who is not swayed by the chaos around them. And in that stillness, you'll find the most powerful version of yourself. Chapter 4. Practicing Detachment. Letting go of the need to control others. Do you ever find yourself trying to control how others think, feel, or act? Maybe you've tried to change someone's behavior, guide them toward a different path, or convince them of your point of view. It's a natural impulse. We all want to influence the world around us. But here's the reality. The need to control others is a heavy burden. It weighs you down, distracts you from your own peace, and drains your energy. Let's take a moment to reflect. What happens when you try to control someone else? You might feel frustration, anger, or even resentment when they don't respond the way you expect. You might feel helpless, as if no matter how much effort you put in, things don't shift in the direction you want. And through all this, one thing becomes clear. You cannot control the thoughts, actions, or emotions of others. They are their own people, with their own paths to walk. The Stoics teach us a profound lesson. True freedom lies in accepting what we can and cannot control. And the truth is, we can't control others. The sooner you let go of this need, the sooner you'll experience a deep sense of peace. It's not about being indifferent or detached in the way you might think. It's about recognizing that your happiness and inner peace depend on you, not on the actions of others. When you stop trying to control the external, you free yourself from the chaos that comes with it. When you let go of this need to control, you reclaim your energy. You stop wasting precious mental and emotional resources on things outside your control. Instead, you direct your attention inward, focusing on what truly matters: your thoughts, your responses, your actions. This shift in focus is transformative. It's not about ignoring the people around you, but rather understanding that your peace comes from within. Think about how much lighter you would feel if you no longer had to manage or micromanage the people in your life. Imagine how much more space you would have in your mind and heart if you didn't feel the constant pressure to change others. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about your own peace and well-being more. It means you accept others for who they are, without trying to force them to fit into your vision of what they should be. This is not an easy thing to do. It requires practice, patience, and self-awareness, but the rewards are immense. You'll find that you are more at peace with yourself and with those around you. You'll stop taking things personally, because you'll recognize that other people's actions are about them, not about you. Their choices are not a reflection of your worth or your value. In the end, detachment is about surrendering the illusion of control. It's about choosing to live a life that is less about manipulating external circumstances and more about mastering your own thoughts, emotions, and responses. When you detach from the need to control others, you find a sense of freedom that is so much more powerful than any temporary sense of power you get from trying to change someone else. You become the master of your own experience. So, the next time you find yourself frustrated with someone, take a step back. Recognize that you don't have to change them. You don't have to fix them. Instead, ask yourself, what can I control in this moment? How can I shift my perspective to find peace, regardless of what's happening around me? In doing so, you'll start to experience a level of freedom and inner strength you may not have known was possible. Let go of the need to control others. Let it go. Your inner peace is worth more than any external victory you could ever achieve. By focusing on yourself and your own growth, you'll naturally become a stronger, more grounded person. And in that process, you'll discover that you don't need to control anyone to find peace. You only need to control yourself. And that, my friend, is where true power lies. Chapter 5. The Art of Observation. Seeing Beyond the Surface. There's a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. It's a simple phrase, but one that carries a deep and profound lesson. What you see on the surface is rarely the whole story. The true essence of anything, whether it's a person, a situation, or even your own thoughts, lies beyond what is immediately visible. To truly understand, you must learn to see with more than just your eyes. You need to observe with presence, awareness, and insight. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to fall into the trap of assuming things based on first impressions. You meet someone, and you immediately form an opinion. A situation arises, and your mind races to a conclusion. But what if you paused for a moment? What if you took the time to really observe, to see beyond the surface? What would you notice? Observation is an art, a skill that can be developed with practice. It's not just about looking, it's about being present. It's about noticing the little details, the way someone speaks, the unspoken tension in a room, or the subtle shifts in your own emotions. When you begin to observe life in this way, you start to see more than just the obvious. You see the layers beneath, the nuances that make up the bigger picture. This skill is invaluable, especially in moments of conflict, stress, or confusion. Instead of reacting immediately, imagine taking a step back and simply observing. What's really going on? What are the underlying emotions at play? When you stop to observe, you gain clarity. You see that not everything is as it seems, and not everyone's actions are a reflection of who they truly are. You begin to understand that people, situations, and even your own thoughts are often driven by forces you can't always see at first glance. The Stoics practiced this kind of deep observation. They understood that most of what happens in life is beyond their control. But what they could control was how they responded. By observing their own thoughts and emotions, they could respond from a place of wisdom, not reaction. And by observing others with understanding and empathy, they were able to remain calm, patient, and compassionate, no matter what challenges arose. You too have this ability. It's already within you. The next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, take a deep breath and pause. Rather than rushing to judgment or letting your emotions drive you, simply observe. Notice how you feel, what you're thinking, and what is truly happening around you. By seeing things for what they really are, you'll gain the power to make better decisions and respond with intention, not impulsiveness. This practice of observation is not just about watching what's happening externally. It's also about turning inward. What's going on in your mind? Are you letting your emotions control you, or are you observing them with the same detachment you would observe the actions of others? The more you observe yourself, the more you understand your triggers, your desires, and your fears. You learn to respond from a place of awareness, not automatic reaction. And as you continue to practice this art of observation, you'll begin to notice how much clearer your perspective becomes. You'll stop reacting to life, and instead you'll start to live it with more intention, more purpose. You'll find that life, in all its complexity, is far more manageable when you see it for what it truly is, beyond the surface. So, the next time you're faced with a situation that feels overwhelming or confusing, try this. Take a step back and observe. Don't rush to judgment. Don't get caught up in the surface-level emotions. Just watch yourself, watch others. Watch the situation unfold. And in that moment of stillness, you'll find the strength to act from a place of calm and clarity. By practicing the art of observation, you tap into a deeper wisdom, a wisdom that is already within you. You just need to learn to see it. Chapter 6. Letting Go of Stress. How Silence Reduces Anxiety. In the fast-paced world you live in, stress has become a constant companion. You wake up and the mind is already racing. Thoughts of what needs to be done, the worries of the day, and the pressure of expectations. It feels overwhelming at times, doesn't it? The weight of everything pulling you in different directions. But here's the truth you may not have realized yet. Silence has the power to help you let go of all that stress. It may sound counterintuitive. After all, when stress hits, the natural instinct is often to do something, to act, to fix, to control. But in reality, the more you do, the more entangled you become in the web of stress. The key, as the Stoics understood so deeply, lies in finding stillness. In those quiet moments, you reclaim your inner peace. You regain the ability to breathe and, most importantly, to think clearly. Imagine a moment when everything goes quiet. The noise, the demands, the expectations, they all fade away. In that silence, you find yourself. The storm of anxiety calms, and the clarity you've been searching for begins to emerge. You begin to understand that the pressure you feel is often a result of your own mind spinning, your own emotions reacting to situations outside your control. But when you pause and embrace silence, you allow yourself the space to observe these feelings without judgment. You give yourself permission to let go. You see, stress often comes from trying to control what is beyond your grasp. You worry about what others think, or you fret over future outcomes. Your mind becomes tangled in a web of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. But in silence, you learn to focus on what you can control, your response. By simply being present in the moment, you free yourself from the constant noise of your own thoughts. You stop reacting. You start responding. In those moments of silence, you create a sanctuary, a place where anxiety cannot reach you. You shift your focus from the external to the internal. You remind yourself that you have the strength to navigate challenges with grace, no matter how loud the world around you gets. Your breath becomes your anchor. Your thoughts, once scattered and chaotic, become more organized. The weight of stress doesn't feel as heavy anymore, but silence doesn't mean doing nothing. It means creating space to process your emotions and thoughts before acting on them. It means stepping back, taking a deep breath, and allowing yourself the time to think clearly. When you learn to create these moments of pause in your day, you become less reactive and more thoughtful. You'll notice that anxiety doesn't hold the same power over you anymore. You begin to let go of its grip, one breath at a time. The Stoics taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This is the essence of silence's power. By pausing, by creating space between stimulus and response, you regain your inner strength. You recognize that the world will continue to be loud, chaotic, and unpredictable. But that's no longer something you need to react to immediately. You have the power to choose how you engage with it. So the next time stress begins to build, instead of rushing to act, try this. Pause. Find silence, even if it's just for a few moments. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to be present. And in that moment of stillness, you'll find that the weight of stress begins to lift. You'll see that it wasn't as heavy as you thought. You'll realize that you have the ability to rise above it, and that silence, your silence, holds the key to letting go of the anxiety that holds you back. You have the strength within you to navigate life with peace, to let go of stress, and to find calm even in the most chaotic moments. All it takes is learning how to embrace silence. Chapter 7. Reclaiming your inner power. The lasting strength of silence. You may not realize it, but the strength you've been searching for has always been within you. It's been there, quietly waiting for you to notice. In the chaos of life, it's easy to overlook the power that resides within your own silence. But when you learn to tap into this stillness, you unlock a strength unlike anything you've ever known. A strength that comes from within, not from the external world. Think about it for a moment. In every challenging situation you face, you always have a choice. You can react impulsively, overwhelmed by emotion, or you can take a step back, pause, and regain your center. It's in this pause that you reclaim your true power. You don't need to control everything around you to feel strong. In fact, the real power lies in letting go of that need for control and finding peace in the present moment. Imagine that you're standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and the world seems out of control. But inside, there's a calmness, a quiet strength that isn't shaken by the storm outside. This is what silence offers you, the ability to remain steady, regardless of the chaos that may surround you. The world will always be unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Life will throw challenges your way. But when you've mastered the art of silence, you realize that you don't need to react to everything. You have the power to choose how you respond. Your inner power is not about being unshakable or unaffected by the world around you. It's about being grounded in who you are, regardless of external circumstances. In silence, you tap into your own authenticity. You remember who you are beneath the noise. You reconnect with the quiet strength that has always been there. It's the strength that allows you to move through life with grace, to stay calm in the face of adversity, and to make decisions from a place of clarity, not fear. This is not just some fleeting feeling. The strength of silence is lasting. It's the kind of strength that stays with you long after the external situation has passed. Once you learn to access it, it becomes a part of you. It's the quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout or demand attention. It's the power to stay true to yourself, no matter what others may say or do. When you tap into this inner strength, you realize that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your value isn't defined by the chaos around you. It's defined by your ability to stay true to yourself, to remain calm, and to navigate life with wisdom. But how do you tap into this power? It starts with silence. It starts with creating space in your life to listen to yourself. In the silence, you stop being distracted by the noise of the world. You stop being consumed by worries, fears, and judgments. You simply are. You begin to understand that your strength is not something that can be taken from you. It's a part of who you are. It's the unwavering force that lies beneath the surface, waiting to be awakened. When you reclaim your inner power through silence, you also reclaim your peace. You understand that the things that once seemed so important, the things that caused you stress, anxiety, or frustration, lose their grip on you. You stop feeling the need to control every situation or every person. Instead, you trust in your ability to navigate life with calm, clarity, and strength. This is the lasting power of silence. So, remember this: your inner power is always within reach. It's in the silence, the moments of stillness that you create for yourself. The more you embrace this silence, the stronger you become. And the more you realize that the strength you seek has always been inside you, quietly waiting for you to notice. Conclusion: you've come a long way on this quiet journey. A journey not of running or chasing, but of returning. Returning to yourself, to your inner calm, to the strength that doesn't shout, but simply is. Now I want you to pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what if your greatest power isn't found in what you say, but in what you choose not to? What if your silence is not weakness, but wisdom? What if letting go, staying still, and listening within is the beginning of everything you've been searching for? You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Your strength is in your stillness. Your power is in your presence. And your peace is yours to reclaim. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, then it's time to live it. Starting now, let silence be your anchor. Let clarity guide your decisions. Let calm become your new strength. And if this video helped you reconnect with something you'd forgotten, something tender, powerful, and true, then I invite you to subscribe. Stay with this journey, because every week we go deeper into the philosophy that sets you free from the noise, the stress, and the stories that no longer serve you. Leave a comment and share your own experience. What moment of silence changed something for you? I'd love to hear it. And maybe someone else needs to read it too. You're not alone. You never were. You've always had what it takes. And now, you're learning to listen to it. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, and stay true.